So it's been a good few months since the Salmon Run reveal for Splatoon 3 happened, and being super close to the game coming out, I'd like to give some closing thoughts on the subject before we get to Splatoon 3's launch. Also, if you're a longtime viewer, you're going to see a lot of these quote-unquote closing thoughts videos in the near future. Yep, it's finally time to go on making different videos. And I thought the best place to start would be with like Salmon Run and to just finish on returning maps. Yeah, no, we're going to save the spiciest for last. So, Salmon Run, we've only seen it once, and in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see it again until the next like Splatoon 3 Direct. Which is fine, it's Salmon Run, there's not a whole ton to talk about, which is a bit of a problem. From what we've seen of Salmon Run Next Wave, it's more of a slight update mechanically to Splatoon 2's Salmon Run. But despite the negativity in the last like yearish of becoming the guy who quote unquote hates returning maps in Splatoon 3, I really don't have many negative feelings about Salmon Run coming back in Splatoon 3. But personally, if I was in charge of Salmon Run, there would be a lot of stuff that I'd want to change for Splatoon 3. For one, and this might be a divisive take, but I'd really love to see Salmon Run take place in an atmospherically different environment. Like, the way Nintendo's developed salmonids in the lore is that they're still pretty technologically advanced as a species, so I'd love to see some Salmon Run maps that take place in an environment that's more similar to what we've seen of like Alterna. Like, the way Nintendo's marketing Splatoon 3 is that it's like the next wave of Salmon Run. So why only be advanced in the new mechanics when we could also see some like advanced new backdrops, skyboxes, environments, stuff like that to make it look more fresh? Like, why not, instead of just sticking to where these salmonids go to lay eggs, why don't we go deeper into their homes and see the environments that they actually live in? It doesn't need to look like what I described earlier. Nintendo could come up with something totally different, or maybe we have a thing where the salmonids are coming for revenge on the Inklings for taking their eggs, and we have to fight the salmonids back off from like the Splatlands, or Splatsville, or Inkopolis. They could do a cool thing where we're fighting a defensive on our own territory, and they send the King Salmonid in to take back their eggs by force from Grizzco. What this idea can go for is advancing the Salmon Run story of us stealing their eggs, and we could learn a bit more about why we are taking the golden eggs. There's a lot Nintendo could do with the story aspects of Salmon Run that could work with the pre-established gameplay, or with a little modification to the established gameplay. At its core, Salmon Run is a very simple mode. Fight back 3 waves of enemies, and kill bosses to take objectives. You could change a few words in that sentence, and have the same core gameplay loops, with some slight alterations that would have amazing effects on what we're doing in Salmon Run. Like, what if this was a core sentence that could describe a branch off of Salmon Run? Fight 3 waves of enemies and kill bosses to expand your territory. I'm just kind of in love with the idea of a territory control version of Salmon Run. I think it could take this mode to some pretty unique places. Overall, I don't think these things will happen. We've probably seen the biggest changes to Salmon Run already. My feelings on Salmon Run are that Nintendo has changed what they need to in order to make the definitive version of Salmon Run at the time. Quality of life seems to be what Nintendo is focused on most of with Splatoon 3 Salmon Run, and while I'd rather Nintendo go a lot harder with shaking up the Salmon Run form, for this being the second game it's in, it's fine. When we actually get to play Salmon Run, we'll see how Nintendo's quality of life changes really affect the game, but in a hypothetical Splatoon 4, Nintendo's gonna be due for some massive Salmon Run overhauls, if they're not about to just pull the rug from underneath us right now with this new Salmon Run mode. The whole point of videos like this that get a bit critical is to get you to go and think about what we could be getting. Just like you, I want to play the best Splatoon possible, and at the end of the day, all we can really do is hope Nintendo is giving us that. But anyways, that's it from me. What would you add to Salmon Run if you could? If you like this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing. I get a little smile every time I see one more person like my videos enough to subscribe. Alright gamers, see ya.